G'day everyone, welcome to today's panel. Tough act to follow, by the way. Raoul Paul being bullish as always. So today we're talking about to meme or not to meme. So you might be full of Ethereum like I am, watching the meme party thinking, am I late, should I buy? So we're going to discuss this today. We've got a stellar panel here. We've got Bobby Lee from Ballet Crypto, Dave, who's put on an amazing show again. He's the founder of the Crypto Convention. We've got Tim from Dogecoin, and we've got Robbie from Litecoin. So thank you all for joining. Now, gents, I'd like to go to each of you today and just talk to us a little bit about your journey and how you see meme coins fitting into the crypto space. We'll start with you, Bobby, because you're close to me.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, Sydney. Woo! All of you had lunch? All right, ready for the meme coin discussion. So my name is Bobby Lee. I've been in Bitcoin crypto since 2011. So that's a little over 13 years, 14 years ago. And when I got into crypto, there were no meme coins. So this is new to me. So I'm famous for having started the very first Bitcoin exchange in China called BTC China. And then I sold that 5 years ago and now started a company called Ballet. We make cold storage wallets, cold storage cards, allow you to store crypto, Bitcoin, Litecoin, meme coin, Dogecoin, all the coins you want on this card easily. So I'm very excited to chat with you guys about meme coins and why it's good or not.
Dave?
Yes, so my name's Dave, and I'm the founder of the ACC, Australian Crypto Convention. I've been in crypto for about 8 years now, and I think meme coins are stupid.
Tim?
Hey. Yeah, my name's Timothy Stebbing. I've been director of the Dogecoin Foundation for about 3 years now. Got in 2021. Didn't really know much about crypto before that, but it's been a pretty crazy journey so far. My main role is software engineer and product lead, so had to quickly learn what Dogecoin was about and what was the meme and what did people really believe Dogecoin was. And so I think that qualifies me to talk about what Dogecoin is as the original meme. So looking forward to talking about that.
Robbie. Oh, what a handover. Thanks, Tim. I'm Robbie. I'm from the Litecoin Foundation. I'm one of the directors and the creative director. I've been in that position since 2017 when I approached Bobby's brother with a 61-page document which I'd done off my own back, which was rebranding Litecoin. So that was a pretty interesting process, rebranding a decentralized currency and presenting it to the community. And since then, I don't know, everything creative, I'd like to think that I at least look at from the Litecoin Foundation, and I work across all the projects in the ecosystem. So what do I think about meme coins? I don't know. I could probably reveal a little bit about the identity of the Litecoin intern on Twitter, but I'm not going to. But I've worn the shirt today for Leicester. So we're here for Leicester, huh? Woo!
Your pants are a bit
Thanks
of a meme
very much.
too, actually.
Actually, we'll start on that. So do you want to give a bit of context around the whole Leicester meme coin charade and just talk, because the price has gone up since your intern did that. Are you just jumping onto the trend, or is this because you actually saw an exchange list Litecoin as a meme coin last week?
Yeah, that's true. No, we haven't rebranded as a meme coin. I think that's hilarious that news agencies pick up stories about everything but when Litecoin does something incredible, like reaches a new all-time high for hash rate or processes more transactions than Bitcoin and Ethereum in a day, all these kinds of things that, whatever. But when we do a funny thing on X or Twitter, all of a sudden it makes headlines. So the power of meme, but also the drawback that it sort of overshadows some of the good work.
Yeah, awesome. We'll go to you, Tim. When do you? I know you joined Dogecoin in 2021. When do you think Dogecoin came from a meme to now a serious contender, top 10 every cycle, always performs? When do you think that shifted?
I think probably in 2021 with the GameStop Dogecoin, I don't know what you call that, event. Probably was when people started taking Dogecoin seriously. And sort of, that was when I came on. And really my focus was, I'm not a fan of meme coins for the sake of meme coins. I tend to think that if you're not building utility, then you're just stealing money off people, right? And so we really started looking at, well, what is Dogecoin? how do we make that useful for people? And the meme actually drove the direction of that. So, you know, what do people in the community believe Dogecoin is? Like belief is a really big part of what memes are, right? And I think one of the stealth sort of things that Dogecoin's got going on is that people go, oh, it's just a meme, right? But money is a meme. Like what is money?
Bitcoin's the first meme.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you know, money is just a token for value, right? And it only holds that value as long as people believe that it holds that value. As soon as the world stops believing that, I don't know, Roman denaries don't have value because we're moving on to gold bullion or something, it loses all its value. You know, and that happens every few hundred years. What is money changes. That is a meme in and of itself because it's the belief of the people in a token to represent value. And so, I mean, if money is a meme, then a meme becomes money. Like, it sort of makes sense. And so we started looking at that and going, oh, hey, well, we've got this meme. Like, you know, what do people actually believe in it? And so, you know, the Dogecoin community especially grew up around this meme, but then it's like, hey, we've got this currency, let's do some good with it. And so Doge, which stands for Do Only Good Every Day, we saw the community, you know, getting behind charitable events like digging wells in Africa, you know, food for, you know, poor people and all this kind of stuff. And so we were like, you know, people really believe that Dogecoin is a useful currency, a means of exchange, rather than a store of value. And they want to see people spending that. And so that's what we've been working on for the last 3 years, building utility. And so I tend to think, you know, if someone's going to build a meme coin, do you have utility behind it? Is there a purpose for your meme coin? Or are you just trying to, you know, scam some money off some people?
So did you just say memes of exchange?
Memes of exchange.
That's
yeah.
pretty good. Memes of exchange. All right.
No, I love that. I think obviously Dogecoin's been around, but I want to maybe bring the conversation to the newer tokens that we're seeing. I think Pump Fund the other day I saw is 50,000 new meme coins being posted or being launched per day. We've seen Pepe the Frog, about 50 different variations on every single chain. Bobby, I want to go to you for this one. You've been around, you've been an OG in the space. Do you think, obviously the music has to stop at some point, do you think we're stifling our own industry by becoming a bit of a joke? I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
So you said the stopping of the music. What about it?
Well, I think, you know, obviously it's 50,000 meme coins per day. All of them are going to go to zero. Do you think this whole debacle is pushing us backwards, or do you think it's part of the adoption into crypto?
So first of all, not all meme coins will go to zero. I think a lot of meme coins will go to zero. Some will stay around cycle after cycle, as we've seen already. So I'm a Bitcoin guy, to be very honest with you. But at the same time, I think the world might be too boring if all we had was Bitcoin for the last 15 years. So that's why, you know, with a diverse world, diverse people, diverse population, diverse interests, we have all these different coins. And I think it's really to each his own, to each her own, in terms of what kind of coins you like. You know, there are a lot of people who support Bitcoin. More and more people support the other coins. That's why you have all these amazing market caps for whether it's Dogecoin, Litecoin, all the meme coins. One thing I would say is you have to, there's investing and then there's speculation, right? And the only difference in the two meanings of the two words is really whether the rest of the people agree with you. So investing is something where you buy something and everyone thinks it's a good decision, they call that investment. But if you buy the same thing and where people think, oh, that's a bad idea, they call you a speculator, right? Whether that's real estate or buying Dogecoin. So it all depends on market sentiment. So with the crypto bull market, the one we're in right now, where Bitcoin is approaching $100,000, it's very natural for all the other coins, whether you call them altcoins, shitcoins, meme coins, tokens, you know, DeFi, Web3, you know, AI, whatever coins you want to call it, the rising tide brings up all the coins' value. And then the thing to watch out for is when the crash comes, it will come. I think the bull market will not be forever. I know there's talks about, oh, now that Trump's going to be president, we're going to have an infinite bull market and prices will never correct. I don't think so. So, you know, beware.
Dave, I'll throw to you here. I want to talk about were saying the bull market, Trump in forever, and the super cycle, Murad's talk in Singapore. If you haven't Googled that, I recommend it. Dave, you've been in the space educating people for a while now. How would you talk to a beginner that, you know, buys Ethereum, buys Solana, sees the gains, but then looks at Pepe, looks at the pump fund coins 100xing in a day? How do you talk to a beginner and say, look, don't go there, go to the fundamentals? What do you say? Because I know you are anti-meme coin.
I'm more anti-meme coin than not, I suppose, but I think that, like Doge, for example, it's an anomaly. It's on its own. It's nothing is like Doge. So to me, Doge is the only meme coin, right? Like the rest of them are just shit. The rest are just garbage. It's meme coins are the monkey NFTs of 2024. Like they just did nothing. They were stupid. They had no utility. And meme coins now, majority of meme coins now, if not all but Doge, to me are doing the very same thing. It's just they make a funny name or a stupid name or some sort of joke. They put a funny picture to it like a frog or something, and then people just buy it. And the people that created it, they pull the rug out, they make heaps of money, and everyone starts complaining about coins again. So in terms of what would I say to beginners coming into the market, it's just stick to the safe bets. Stick to something that has actual volume and liquidity behind it and real utility, and you're going to have a much safer experience in the market than buying something that's got a frog picture on it.
Or perhaps would you say stick to L1s? I mean, most of these meme tokens aren't L1s. They're tokens on Ethereum or on Solana. And so, you know, what is that, right? Like, you know, where's the utility in that? It's not a thing in and of itself. So is that a distinguishing feature for you?
If there's utility there, yes, definitely. I'm more for utility than having a meme for the sake of having a meme.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then what is utility? Like, not to be philosophical, but you go, there are, so you spoke about investments before, Bobby. That's one use. I guess there's another one, speculation. I mean, it's effectively gambling. People like to gamble. I mean, Australia is big on gambling. I mean, the other use case you could argue is actually using it in your everyday life. And then there is another one, which is entertainment. And I guess that's probably the only thing I'd say I'm interested in the meme coins for, is that there are some clever thoughts out there which capitalize on the zeitgeist or, you know, off the back of trends that aren't necessarily trying to propose that they're going to be a great safe haven for your money. They're just, they're kind of almost self-effacing. I don't mind those ones. It's been a long time since I've seen one, but yeah, I don't mind entertainment.
It's good to have a bit of fun, don't get me wrong. But to me, it's no different having a punt on the horses or the dogs.
I totally agree.
It's a bit of fun. It might be a social experiment, but you don't put your investments in it.
Oh,
you know?
Totally agree. I don't think it even falls in an investment class for what I would consider being sensible at all.
Well, one thing I want to point out, it's a perspective issue. And I want to see, you know, maybe you could raise your hands later as I talk about this, see if you agree. So over the last 15 years, the terminology has changed. On this panel, it's to meme or not to meme. Meme coins, right? For a while, back then, it was called shitcoins, and even before that, it was called altcoins. So it's just like the kettle calling the pot calling the kettle black. You know, it's just a degree. It's a relative thing. Because in the early days, in my early days, Bitcoin people like myself would look at Litecoin. Oh, you're the altcoin. You know, and then for a while, Litecoin would look at Dogecoin and say, "Oh, you're the shitcoin." Or back then, it wasn't even a meme coin. And now Dogecoin is on the king of the hill, and Dogecoins call these other Pepe, "Oh, you're the meme coin." And one day, Pepe will be on the stand here, and they'll be calling some other whatever coin, you know, I don't know whatever the word is in 5 years from now. But remember, Bitcoin was the altcoin, shitcoin, meme coin compared to people who were holding gold and silver. Right? Think about, to this day, there are people who are hardcore, old school, gold, silver investors who think Bitcoin is just shit, meme, alt. The way Bitcoin looks at Litecoin, the way Litecoin looks at Dogecoin, and the way Dogecoin looks at Pepe and all these other coins. So I think it's just the pot calling the kettle black. It's just all relative. So it's all downhill from here.
The names are just getting less sophisticated, though, right? Like now you've got boob coin or bum coin, like.
No, but back then, 15 years ago, there was sex coin, there was barbecue coin, there was name coin. Who remembers that? Probably none of you do.
Yeah,
but,
name coin and sex coin.
But where are they, you know?
I disagree with you respectfully. I think that there are some currencies out there, like, let's choose Litecoin, that was an altcoin. I don't think it's a meme. It just has a different feature. So your brother changed the code base by a little bit from the original Bitcoin code base and added some features which are needed in the market. And you can see that at the moment. But then there are some just, like Sexcoin was garbage. Like, just trash.
Didn't see that coming, right?
No, I mean, and then there's a reason why there was 20,000 ICO coins in the graveyard 6 months after the ICO craze end. So it's crazy.
Well, I think you touched on it before with Litecoin. You said you improved the hash, improved the transactions, no PR firm wanted to pick it up. Then you've done the marketing campaign to make yourself a bit of a meme coin. If you want to show everyone your shirt, please.
Oh, yeah, I can stand up.
The L is for let him cook. So that's the Litecoin.
So
that's the Litecoin mascot.
There's just some eyes on it. It's just the Litecoin logo with some eyes on it and a stick figure. And it was because Doge actually, we were having a bit of a laugh. The Doge account retweeted it and asked one of these guys called Greg. Do you guys know Greg? Greg something. I don't know his name. What is he? He's a meme dude.
He's a meme dude.
He's
He's
a meme
got
dude.
a few million followers on X.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so the Litecoin account said, hey, we'll try out being a meme coin. So I jumped on the Dogecoin account and I was like, hey, let's help these guys out. Can we make him a meme? And someone did. They made just the
They made this. They made Lester.
And his name's Lester. So this happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it happened like 10 days ago. So we've just been having fun on the Litecoin account. Quite honestly, it's not us trying to do anything from marketing. It's not us trying to rebrand the coin at all. It is quite literally just a bit of fun.
We're Aussies and we take the piss.
Not everyone behind the account's Aussie, and also I don't know the nationality of the intern. Never been revealed.
Sorry.
But I guess my question to you is, you obviously saw impressions, everything go up. Do you think that campaign style of legit tokens, rebranding, I know you're not rebranding, but doing the whole meme coin bit, do you think that's going to stick around, and do you think it's beneficial?
No, so I think it's what it's done is it's introduced Litecoin to a whole set of people that probably aren't familiar with it. So I think that Bobby's right. Like, Litecoin's the oldest surviving altcoin. So it's been around for 13 years, and that's a long time, right? So there's been a lot of people, early investors, who might have a bag of Litecoin or have been holding Litecoin or using Litecoin. But I guess Litecoin's never been well positioned for this meme world. And it's never really tried to enter that world because we've always focused on, I guess, real world use cases. So it's been really interesting seeing a whole new community. We've got people from the likes of Solana and the Polygons and I don't know, whatever the other networks that go down all the time are. And they're coming across and investing in Litecoin because they think it's a bit of fun. And that's great. That's a bit of fun. And if they dump their bags, I'm sure someone else, there's always a buyer and seller. Someone will pick up the Litecoin, not worried about that. But yeah, it's just a little cycle for us to have a bit of fun.
Well, I mean, adding Lester to the Litecoin, I don't know, whatever you would even call it, zeitgeist. Yeah. What's the difference between that and Bitcoiners posting laser eye memes online? It's just sort of, we're having a bit of fun, right?
Yeah, it's just adding a little bit of a fun feature to it and having a bit of fun at the same time.
A laser eye is a meme?
If they put a currency to it of some sort, I guess.
I think it's the Bitcoin meme, isn't it?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Tough crowd.
But you guys are saying a lot of things like it's just a bit of fun, it's a bit of fun, it's a bit of fun. But that is what memes are. They're just fun. They're not for investment. They're not for.
Well, hang on. But then why is Pepe, which I don't know if some of you must hold it, why is that number 9 in market cap or 11 in market cap?
Well, community gets behind it, and a good use case, I suppose you could say, of meme coins as a whole is that what it has done for the market is it's brought new people in. So it has its place in that sense that it's brought a lot of liquidity in, it's brought newcomers in, and the general life cycle will be, I'm in here for a meme coin, I'm having some fun, lost a bit of money, made a bit of money. Okay, there's something in this, now it's time to learn and get a little bit more serious, and then they go into the market. So there's certainly, meme coins have a way of onboarding new users to cryptocurrency, and that's amazing, but I just don't think that it's a suitable investment choice.
Totally.
But I think exchanges love it. I think
Of course they do. They're
exchanges
getting
love it
volume.
because they bring in the volume, the trading fees, all that, the commissions. So there's in some way there's a perverse incentive for the exchanges to really let it roar, so to speak.
Perverse incentive, you nailed that.
Yeah, because it's perverse. Because they know many of them will go to zero, and there are no regulation says, oh, you got to disclose that this coin has no substance behind it.
Well, I think that's really important for people to know, right? So exchanges are quite often advertising the meme coins, but everyone has to remember exchanges make their money from trading volume. They make money off the fees of every dollar you trade. So if you've got a community rallying behind Pepe Coin or Boob Coin or whatever, and the volume is there, the exchanges are going to keep promoting it and pumping it. And the exchanges are, the ones with the most followings online. So it's kind of feeding the beast because they're making a killing out of it.
I also want to bring it back to the conversation. Dave, you mentioned before you think it's the monkey picture of this cycle, but let's not forget the monkey picture went from a free mint to 100 ETH, $500,000 floor. Question for you, Dave, is when does the music stop? Because there's obviously gains, as you mentioned I put $2,000 in last year at the last crypto convention because someone said memes are going to go well. So I said, I'll chuck couple of $1,000s in Pepe. It's my best performer. I've been dollar cost averaging ETH like a sensible investor, and I've been getting no returns. Question for you, Dave. When do you think the music stops and everyone gets caught with their pants down?
Everything goes in cycles. So Bitcoin goes in cycles. The whole market moves in cycles. So, in the NFT boom, we had celebrities like Justin Bieber that bought a picture of a monkey for like $30 million or something, and now it's worth 30 grand. If he's lucky. So I think that while the market's up, everything's going up, everyone's excited, but you have to plan an exit strategy and know that the market will turn. Usually we're on a 4-year cycle, and the chances of your meme coins going to zero after that cycle and after that market starts to take a downturn is really high.
Dave, for every buyer there's a seller, right? And so how often do you think stuff like Pepe, which, I haven't seen the centralization figures recently, but I know it's not a super decentralized token. So the exchanges have power, they want it to be traded, there's always someone on the other end of a trade. How often do you think that institutions are actually, pumping these coins and then leaving retail investors in the shit?
How often did you say?
You don't have to put a number against it, but do you think that that's actually happening, and do you think that's one of the big risks?
It's definitely a risk there. Whether it's happening or not, I really couldn't know, but the exchanges themselves are making a fortune off this. Every dollar that's getting traded on a meme coin is feeding their bank account. So, and we're talking, some of them at $50, $60 million a day in trading, like profits from the trading volume. So, and if 20, 30, 40% of that volume is coming through meme coins, they're always going to promote it. It doesn't make it a sound investment.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people that lose money out of this. Where do you think the regulatory issues might come in, because this is obviously not sustainable? We've got people on Pump Fund live streaming themselves, doing ridiculous things until they get to a $10 million market cap. Bobby, what do you think the regulators will say about this?
So we have to go back. I talked about this in my book, The Promise of Bitcoin. We have to go back and understand how financial regulation came about. So if you look at in the United States, I think the US, undoubtedly is one of the global leaders for financial regulation. And the main enforcement agency is called the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission. How did that come about? So that agency got created 100 years ago during a time when the stock market was new. So there are a lot of shillers and snake oil salespeople who were shilling and selling stock to these crazy small companies and really boosting and pumping the price up. And there's so much fraud and so much inappropriate activity and then the Great Depression and all that, the SEC came in, was formed to sort of protect the investor class, to protect the regular Americans, to make sure they don't make mistakes at quote unquote investing in these phantom things, and also to protect, to make sure they enforce against the issuers so they're not just peddling these crazy stocks. So that's how the SEC came about, and that's what we mean by regulators. What are they going to do about it? So today, 100 years later, with the advent of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, we're seeing this cycle all over again. We're seeing a platform, in this case, crypto, allowing speculators create their own coins, pump their own coins, whether you call it meme coin, shitcoin, altcoins. And that's why, so the point is, we're applying, the SEC is using old rules on equities, on stock from 100 years ago to try to capture and regulate this new thing. And I think it'll never work because it's old school rules on a new school technology. So what I expect to happen, whether it's with this Trump administration in the US or in the next 5, 8, 10 years, is we probably will see a crypto native enforcement mechanism, agency. So whether it's a new department, a new commission or whatnot, that will hopefully do the right thing and regulate it properly. So when that day comes, again, it's several years away, I think, then things will calm down a little bit and then we'll have some more safety nets for real investors, right? But until that happens, it's the Wild West and people are gonna be rich and people are gonna get sucked in and lose all their money. So it's a little bit of everything now.
I think regulation can only go so far anyway. We're in a world of decentralized finance. So if someone's going to make a DeFi meme coin and then they're going to launch it on a decentralized exchange and people are going to interact with it anyway, what can regulators really do anyway? I think that the main focus should be on educating people on, what are the risks of meme coins, educating everyone on the whole ecosystem. That's going to accomplish more than I think any regulation could anyway.
Got it. Question for you, Tim, from Dogecoin. Now, there's Bitcoin Ethereum ETF launched. There's talks of a Solana ETF, but there's also talks of a Dogecoin ETF. And if you want to go by longevity, by decentralization, by market cap, volume, etc., Dogecoin, I think, we could be talking about a Dogecoin ETF in the next 1 to 2 years. If that happens, how do you think that impacts the meme coin market? If people say, "Oh, the Pepe ETF's next," like how do you think that impacts the crypto market?
I think it's a terrible investment. I mean, I wouldn't be putting my money into a Dogecoin ETF. We've got an inflationary currency that's designed to be spent, right? It's like we said, it's a means of exchange. It inflates every year by 5 billion coins. Why would I invest in that? I want to see people using that to buy their groceries. That's really our objective. I mean, Bitcoin's a totally different thing. It's a store of value. Makes sense to have an ETF for Bitcoin, but it's like, why would you have an ETF for cash, right? That's really our objective. So I would say avoid it, right? And again, with Pepe, if you've got something that you think is gonna be a long-term investment, maybe that makes sense, but why would you want institutional money coming into something which is meant to be spent and not go up in value?
You mentioned before about Dogebox, and you're going to actually try to create Dogecoin as the next peer-to-peer currency. Can you talk about that and where that's at?
Well, that's been our objective for the last 3 years. I spoke on this yesterday. Dogebox, it's not that interesting in the context of this conversation, but it's an open source piece of hardware which is designed to get people in emerging economies being able to self-host and self-custody Dogecoin in their shop. So if you're selling stuff at the market, maybe you got a coffee shop, you can put this Dogebox in your in your premises, and it'll host a shop as if it was Shopify, but you're self-hosting, right? And you're self-custodying, because that's what our objective is. We want to get people spending. So I guess that's what that was about. Yeah.
Cool.
I guess just that's our distinction. We don't want to see Dogecoin go to $100. We think that's crazy, right? Maybe Dogecoin to $1.
Or to $99, good enough.
Look, I wouldn't complain, but
I've always wanted to know this personally. Do you guys talk to Elon? What's the go? Is the Doge founders in contact with him? Like, what's happening there?
So I don't want to talk too much about it. He's a fairly private guy, but Elon's a fan of Dogecoin. People are probably aware of that. And one of his people, Jared Birchall, is an advisor to the Dogecoin Foundation. So we chat with him for advice on whatever we want to chat with him about.
Will Dogecoin be the coin on X, do you think, or?
I don't know. I'm not privy to that, right? I've certainly,
NDA.
As a software engineer, I've built software. We've got this product called GigaWallet. It's an open source software, which is a back-end solution for people who want to host, millions of wallets custodially for their customers. So, like, if you were, I don't know, if you were X or if you were Twitch or something like that, and you wanted to do tipping, you wanted to create a wallet for every user, we've got an open source solution there. I've offered that to them. Whether they use that, it's up to them. I'm not privy to what they're doing.
Cool. And to maybe wrap things out,
Let's see, how many of you in the audience own what you consider a meme coin? Raise your hands.
well,
Idiots.
Wow.
Idiots. No, I'm joking.
A good half. And the other half is going to buy them after this panel discussion, right?
there's obviously a place for it in everyone's portfolio. Would you agree?
It's not in my portfolio, so I don't think it's
Only
everyone.
Dogecoin.
So I live in Las Vegas. So I think the analogy is Las Vegas, as many of you know, some of you have been there, is a city of gambling, of casinos. So when people go to Las Vegas, they don't think about, oh, I'm excited to go to Las Vegas this weekend and make some investments, right? So they're not doing that. Yeah. But they're still going because they're going to go do some speculative gambling. And they're excited. So I see that same reaction. Like, why do people, quote unquote, buy meme coins? It's for that excitement, for that speculative, like, I might make 100x on that. It's like putting money in the slot machine and pulling it. You probably know you'll lose it, but there's that chance you'll win $80,000 from your $3 of slot machine play. So I think, not just Las Vegas, but all around the world, we've seen casino gambling cities thrive because human nature, we're dumb. As humans, we're dumb. We're not perfect robots. And because we're dumb, because there's always that side of the rat brain that says, yeah, go for that. That's why casinos and meme coins survive.
Bobby, that's a pretty interesting analogy, thinking about it as a casino, and Dave, you were alluding to this with the exchanges as well. They're kind of the house, right? And the house can kind of, to some extent, choose who wins. To some extent, they list certain tokens, they can give prominence to certain tokens, they can give liquidity sometimes to certain tokens. So I think there's kind of a pretty good analogy and sound analogy there. And I know people that have become rich from gambling, right? I know people that had a fluke on the horses and won $1 million. But more often than not, I know people that have lost, and the consequences are just as real as when you lose in gambling. If you lose money on a meme coin, it has a real impact on your life if you've overextended yourself. So I think that's another thing to consider, is that meme coin or not, and whether you are interested in investing or not, don't invest something which is going to change your life. And if it changes your life for the better because it pumps 10,000%, great. But I wouldn't be investing in anything that's going to change your life.
Does everyone in here that owns meme coin also play the lotto? Because it's the same sort of thing to me. They play the lotto, right?
The lottery.
Buy the lotto ticket. You're just hoping one sticks. You're hoping you get a winner one day. You might spend $25,000 over the course of 5 years buying lotto tickets and never win any more than $3, right? It's the same sort of concept, I think.
Well, I think the reason why is everyone sees 100x's and gets giddy and wants to put 10% of the portfolio in. Now, I'll go to each of you here. What advice would you give to all these meme coin degens?
Degens, that's right.
On how to balance fun and responsible investing. Give us some advice. We'll start with you at the end, Robbie.
Oh, great, the party pooper. Sorry, everyone can probably tell that I'm not a massive fan of over-investing in meme coins. Again, it's just this idea that only invest what you can actually afford to lose. And I guess the other thing is, if it is just for fun, then make sure it's just for fun. And if there's upside to it, awesome. I've been around long enough and I've lost enough money that I can vouch for the fact that you should never overextend yourself. So that's probably my advice.
Tim?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I only invest in things that I see utility in, and I don't see utility in most meme coins. If you want to invest in a meme coin, and I'm talking about these things that come up over a day, I just see that as tipping the creator of a fun meme, right? Like, maybe...
That's good, yeah.
Well, I don't think you should invest in meme coins, so pretty easy answer for me. But I'm a utility guy as well. Only, again, not financial advice, but my opinion would be to only invest in something that has utility, has a future, has a good team behind it, something that you can do some research on their tokenomics or their founders and make sure that there's some longevity in the company or in the project. Meme coins, if you want to have a punt and have a little bet here and there, I just treat it as just having a punt and having a bet and not an investment at all.
Bobby.
Okay, so how many of you, I love you brought up the word degen. I almost forgot about that. How many of you degens in here? Any self-admitted degens? Oh, quite a few.
It's like
okay.
7.
There's more. There's a lot. Well, good thing you know who you are. I worry about the people who don't raise your hands who are attending this. You know, if you didn't raise your hand for degen and you're attending the to meme and not to meme, you really need to question yourself. So the story is this, okay? Many of you may have heard of the term YOLO, Y-O-L-O. Some probably don't. It stands for you only live once, okay? So the problem with YOLO is a story about there's one American guy, there's an American a few years ago, he sold all his belongings, sold his home, sold all his belongings. He brought all that cash, I forgot how much, to Las Vegas and decided to put it on one spin, on one roulette wheel spin. And he didn't even know what color he was going to pick, like red or black. And he, at the last minute, he picked red, and it came on red, and he doubled his money. So that's YOLO, okay? Do not do that, okay? Do not do that. I tell the story as a cautionary tale. Even though he doubled his money, don't ever sell all your things and YOLO and buy into one meme coin. Okay, if you bought Bitcoin at a low price, maybe it wasn't such a bad idea. But definitely don't YOLO your assets into a meme coin.
I was about to say, in contrast to that, there is a guy, a family that I can't remember the name. Robert? Is that his name? He did the same thing. He sold his house, sold his cars, sold everything, and I think it was about 10 years ago, and put it all into Bitcoin. So good decision.
Yeah, and now he's sort of faded away because he's disappeared in the good way. He just doesn't want to be known anymore. He's living the good life.
Great. We've just got over 5 minutes left. Does anyone? We've got a lot of alpha on the stage here, and I'd hate to leave it wondering. Does anyone have any questions we want to ask about meme coins or investing in particular? Any questions? Put your hand up.
That box, you can throw that out in the audience.
Yeah, there's a microphone.
Oh, cool. Any questions?
They know everything about meme coins now, so I don't think they've got any questions.
Yeah, they know more than we do, I think.
Where? Oh, yeah. What do I bring this?
Yeah, just throw it. Yeah.
Just throw it.
With your
Aim at
right
his head. Aim at his head. No.
You can. Okay, speak close to the microphone.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, you got it.
It's not really a question, more of a statement for the audience. The way I view meme coins is an onboarding ramp. And if you think you're putting $100 into a meme coin, the guy that created the meme coin is rugging, and that $100 is making its way to Solana. So why not just put your money into Solana to begin with? Just food for thought. The money's it's making its way. I've been here since 2013. I've seen it all myself. The money's making its way to coins with utility. Why mess around with too many memes? If it's going to end up there anyway, put it there yourself.
Generally, it's a good idea. I think, in the good old days, rather than mining Bitcoin, you should just put all that money and buy Bitcoin itself. Rather than buying all the ICO tokens, you should put all that money into ETH. And like you said, maybe rather than buying the meme coin, just buy Solana instead. So it's not a bad idea. I wouldn't disagree with it.
But then,
I'll just buy Solana, definitely.
I mean, does that make Solana a shitcoin then? Because it's the king of shitcoins?
They're all shitcoins.
Yeah, but you look at it and go, it's propagating tens of thousands of shitcoins and allowing them to come into the ecosystem. Isn't it the greatest shitcoin of all time? I say yes, and it's always down anyway. Sorry.
In some ways, we're all shitcoins. Like that's what the.
Oh yeah, I'm a shitcoin.
Yeah, we're all, even
like
Bitcoin,
Robbie.
we're a shitcoin,
Love it. Let's go to this handsome man over here.
Thank you so much for letting me answer.
Closer.
Hello? Oh, cool. No way. So, question sort of for everyone, because when you're on Twitter, you see all these magical stories about people making 1,000x, 10,000x on a meme coin. Has anybody actually made like anything more than 100x on a coin before? Or is that
Don't
like...
answer that if you have, I reckon, because
I'm sure people
going to
have.
see you outside.
I'm definitely sure people have. I'm sure there are people, raising their hands.
Never talk about your wealth.
Yeah,
Do you have a question, or is that it?
no, that's the question.
All right, great. Thank you. Yes, sir. Can you catch?
Thank you very much. Murad gave a speech at Token 2049 and he spoke about cults. And I'm a big believer that Bitcoin is pretty much based on the community's faith in the community. Obviously, it has great tokenomics. A lot of the meme coins have fixed supplies, so they don't have an inflationary supply. Murad talked about belief and tokenized religions in the future. I'm a big believer in Jesus coin because there's 2.4 billion Christians worldwide, and we don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but we do know who Vitalik is. Jesus coin is on Ethereum, and I know that I've spoken to the dev, there's a fixed supply. So do you guys think that tokenized religions, and Balaji talks about the network state, we have more in common as Bitcoiners than we do with some of the people we live next door to, and we spend all of our time online connecting with each other digitally. Do you believe that coins are faith-based, and do you think coins like Jesus coin could potentially become the reserve currency for Christians worldwide?
I'm a Christian, and I wouldn't invest in a Jesus shit token.
So the other problem is, the coin you mentioned, I haven't heard of it, but there's no, that's not the real Christianity Jesus coin, right? It's just one person decided to create one called Jesus. The other could call it, I don't know, so there's no end to it. That's a problem. But I do think Bitcoin itself is a religion.
So what does it do? Does it give? Is it a utility token to let you talk to God or something? This is the thing. It's like, why you can't just oh, here we go. I'm going to find out what it does.
So the mission of Jesus coin is to influence culture. It's all about influencing culture, and its mission is to inspire people to love one another and to seek a higher calling. And people meet every week on Twitter Spaces in a Sunday service, and they do church on Twitter every Sunday.
I would say Bitcoin accomplishes that already. I mean, I've never ever been involved in a community or an industry that is so extremely supportive of each other and wants to see each other win as much as the Bitcoin community. So I would say Bitcoin accomplishes exactly what you're saying anyway.
I saw someone yesterday dressed as Jesus, and I thought, really, are we at this point in the cycle where we have a Jesus coin? I think it's just ridiculous. But you can ask.
I just want to add another point of, I've been in the space since 2015. Now I like meme coin because I'm doing DeFi on Solana. And I like how meme coin's volatility because I'm using whatever the fees and I'm just earning the shit out of Pepe. And I just did purple Pepe last week and I make, 10 Solana or something just to fund this trip. So I think meme coin has its fun point. As long as I know this is my goal, meme coin for me is for holiday. And also DeFi is an income, and I thought that's a point to add. Thank you.
Meme coins for holidays, I love that.
Meme coins loves you too.
Last one.
Realistically, when do you think the bull run is going to end? When is Bitcoin halving going to start?
Sorry, what was the question?
When is the bull run going to end?
I don't think anyone can answer when it's going to end, but I think it's only just getting started, personally.
So if you look at history, I've seen through these cycles. So if everything behaves according to history, which it does not, by the way, then the real Bitcoin, the real bull market will be next year, 2025. It'll end before the end of next year, and 2026 will be a slam dunk bear market.
But I think you're right, Bobby. Usually people say that history is the only way to predict the future. In a space that's only 15 years old, and really if we're talking about the maturation of the space, it's only really been seeing the volume and liquidity in the last sort of 7 or 8 years to make it a mature space. That's not enough time, not enough history to predict the future, and even then it's not precise. So I would just say, and no offense to anyone who's responded, no one knows. That is everyone's opinion. Sorry to be a downer.
And with that, we'll wrap things up. DJing carefully, everyone, and thank you for coming to our talk. Thank you to our great panelists. If you give them a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
And cheers. Enjoy the day.